Okay, so we've got next section of this 151.00393 Internet. Internet means collectively the myriad of computer and telecommunication facilities. I'm just going to adjust everything here real quick. Telecommunication facility, including equipment and operating software that comprises the internet interconnected worldwide web of networks that employ the uh, TCP/IP protocol, well, ATM machine, or any predecessor or successor protocols to the protocol to communicate information of all kinds by wire or radio. So this is added in 99, effective October 1st, 99. Section 151 00394 Internet Access Service. Internet Access Service means a service that enables users to access content, information, electronic mail, or other services offered over the internet and may also include access to proprietary content, information, and other services as part of a package of services offered to consumers. The term does not include telecommunication services. B. Internet access service does not include any taxable service listed in 151.0101, which is a listing of the taxable services, unless the taxable service is provided in conjunction with and is merely incidental to the provision of Internet access service. C. Internet access service is not included in the definition of data processing services and information services. That was added in 1999, effective October 1st, 99. It's also amended in 2025 by this Senate bill. I'm gonna scroll to the bottom because I know the most important thing is this is section 151.0101 that was noted above. You'll note that internet service or access service is uh, what is it, struck out. So this service used to be taxable, no longer taxable in taxes, effective July 1st, 2025. Section 151.004 in the state means within the exterior limits of Texas and includes all territory within these limits ceded to or owned by the United States. It's from 1981, effective Jan 1, 1982. Section 10045, personal services. Personal services means the personal services listed in as personal services under Group 729, Major Group 72 of SIC, Standard Industrial Classification Manual, 1972, includes massage parlors, escort services, and Turkish baths under Group 729 of said manual, but does not include other services listed under Group 729, unless otherwise covered under this chapter. Uh, this is such a weird line here. Unless otherwise covered by this chapter, prepared by the Statistical Policy Division of the Office on Management and Budget, Office of the President of the United States. I'm not 100% sure what they're really saying there. The term does not include services provided through coin operated machines that are operated by consumer. So let's just look at this real quick. Hopefully it'll just come up. So obviously this is not the 72, and when I say 1972, they do use older manuals from time to time associated with this. We're just going to look very broadly. When we're looking at 721, at least for what it is now and probably what it was previously, was something similar to this laundry type services. So garment services, linen supply, power laundry is interesting. Okay, going back. So that was added in 1994. In 2019, there was a bit of an update uh, where we've got language associated with these coin operated machineries. Um, some other information I'm going to say it's beyond the scope of it for the moment. Section, oh, maybe I'll do like a deep dive of these by topic. That makes sense. Okay, section 151.0047, real property repair and remodeling. Real property repair and remodeling means the repair, restoration, remodeling, or modification of an improvement to real property other than one, a structure or separate part of a structure used as a residence. Two, an improvement immediately adjacent to a structure described by subdivision one, this residence, of this section, and used in the residential occupancy of the structure or separate part of the structure by the person using the structure or part as a residence. Oh my God. Okay. Or three, an improvement to a manufacturing or processing production unit in a petrochemical refinery or chemical plant that provides increased capacity in the production unit. B, in this section, increased capacity means the capability to produce additional products or services as measured by units per hour or units per year, or a new product or service. Two, production unit means a group of manufacturing and processing machines, ancillary equipment that together are necessary to create or produce, a physical or chemical change, beginning with the first processing of the raw material and ending with the finished product. Three, new product means a product that has different product properties and a different commercial application than the product previously manufactured or processed by the production unit that produced the previous product. Wow, that is like the most tongue twister line that I've seen so far. B, and B is not created by straining or purifying an existing product or by making cosmetic changes such as adding or removing color or order to or from an existing product. So that is from 1987, amended in 1991, 1995, 1997. Okay. Section 151.0048, real property service. Except as provided by subsection B, real property service means 1, landscaping, 2, the care and maintenance of lawns, yards, or ornamental trees or other plants, 3, the removal or collection of garbage, rubbish, or other solid waste other than hazardous waste. Industrial solid waste, waste material that results from an activity associated with the exploration, development, or production of oil, gas, geothermal resources, or any other substance or material regulated by the Railroad Commission of Texas under Section 91.101 Natural Resources Code. D, domestic sewage or an irrigation return flow, to the extent the sewage or return flow does not constitute garbage or rubbish, and E, industrial discharges subject to regulation by permit issued pursuant to Chapter 26 Water Code. So, taking a step back, the removal of garbage other than these more hazardous versions of garbage, basically, is a real property service. And there are technical definitions of this that goes into detail elsewhere. A deeper dive, we may go into that. 4, building or grounds cleaning, janitorial or custodial services. 5, a structural pest control service covered by section 1951.003 Occupation Code. Or 6, the surveying of real property. B, real property service does not include a service listed under subsection A, so that was all of what we just read, if the service is purchased by a contractor as part of the improvement of real property with a new structure to be used as a residence, or other improvement immediately adjacent to the new structure and used in the residential occupancy of the structure. So like if you have a detached garage That's basically what they're talking about here. B -1, which is unusual notation, but okay, we'll continue. Real property service does not include a service listed under subsection A if the service is performed by a landman and necessary to negotiate or secure land mineral rights for the acquisition or trade, including uh, 1, determining ownership; 2, negotiating a trade or agreement regarding land or mineral rights; 3, drafting and administrating contractual agreements; 4, ensuring that all governmental regulations are complied with; and 5, any other action necessary to complete the transaction related to the service described by this subsection, other than an information service, described by section 151, 0038, which is just the information services definition, or section plus definition. C, in this section, contractor means a person who makes an improvement on real estate and who, as a necessary and incidental part of services, incorporates tangible personal property into the property improved, excuse me. The term includes builder, developer, speculative builder, or other person acting as a builder to improve residential real property. And I believe the comptroller's office has taken a position that is contrary to this when a homeowner is acting as a builder currently. Let me actually put that on my list of things to double check. But I believe fairly recently they switched a long time position of saying homeowners can do this to homeowners can't do this. Obviously, this is academic. Do not take, hey, I think this is the situation as any sort of advice, obviously. Um, so this was added in 87, amended in 91, again in 93, again in 95, again in 97, again in 99. Okay. Again in 2021, 2023. And I guess we continue with the new updates here. So 2023 and then 2027. So 2005 it was fine, but every other year this has been like tweaked and changed. But it seems consistent for the moment at least. Okay. Section 151.005, sale or purchase. Sale or purchase means any of the following when done or performed for consideration: a transfer of title or possession of tangible personal property. That could be considered, or that would be considered a sale or purchase. 2, the exchange, barter, lease, or rental of tangible personal property. 3, the performance of a taxable service, the charge for an extended warranty or service contract for the performance of a taxable service, or in the case of an amusement service, the transfer of title to or possession of a ticket or other admission document, the collection of an admission fee, whether by individual performance, subscription series, or membership privilege, the collection of dues or fee, charge, or assessment, including an initiation fee by a club or organization for membership, or special privilege, status, or membership classification in the club or organization, or the use of a coin-operated machine. Okay, so all that could be a sale. 4, the production, fabrication, processing, printing, or imprinting of tangible personal property for consumers who directly or indirectly furnish the materials used in the production, fabrication, processing, printing, or imprinting. 5, the furnishing and distribution of tangible personal property by a social club or fraternal organization to anyone. 6, the furnishing, preparation, or service of food, meals, or drinks Okay. And I'll just to jump back up again. It's done for consideration. Consideration meaning something was given in return. Uh, the transfer position of so we're on 7. A transfer of the possession of tangible personal property if the title of the property is retained by the seller as security for uh, payment of the price, or 8. Transfer of the title or possession of tangible personal property that has been produced, fabricated, or printed to the special order of a customer. That was 1981, 1983. That's interesting. Generally, these are all odd numbers, as you would expect. Why was there in 84? Maybe there was just like a long special session. I don't know. 91, 84 stays good for a while. Well, not that long. 1987, and then amended again in 2003. Nothing since 2003. Uh, And this section is fairly long. Okay, that's going to be the rest of it. Is sale for resale. Something that is fairly quite important. Section 151.006, sales for resale. Sale for resale. Oh, sale for resale means a sale of one tangible personal property or a taxable service to a purchaser who acquires the property or service for the purpose of reselling it as a taxable item as defined by uh, section 151.010. What are we actually saying here? A taxable item. I'll read it off because it's short. Section 151.010, taxable item. Taxable item means tangible personal property or taxable service. So even though it's saying item, an item can be a service. Except as otherwise provided by this chapter, the sale or use of a taxable item in electronic format instead of on physical media does not alter the item's tax status. This is one of the biggest variance between Texas and California as far as their determination of what tangible personal property means. Uh, Beyond the scope of this, though. So we are here. We were right here, as defined by this. And this is going to be. I'm basically just going to skip over this a little bit. Because we're going to be saying the same thing over and over again. So, in the United States, or a possession or territory of the United States, or in the United Mexican States, in the normal course of business, in the form or condition in which it is acquired, or as an attachment to or integral part of other tangible personal property or taxable service. So, what I'm going to skip over United States and Mexico. That's what I'm going to say for the next however many times it comes up in this, because I think it's like every single line here. 2, tangible personal property to a purchaser for the sole purpose of a purchaser's leasing or renting it in the United States or Mexico in the normal course of business to another person, but not if incidental to the leasing or renting of real estate. So, like a quick example of this is you rent a office building that has mini blinds. Mini blinds are something that generally uh, it's tangible personal property and is incidental to the actual rent, basically. And now I get to say, oh God, where is the line? Okay, yeah, we're right here. 3, tangible personal property to a purchaser. I'm gonna jump back up. Sale for resale means 3, tangible personal property to a purchaser who acquires the property for the purpose of transferring it in the United States or Mexico as an integral part of a taxable service. Sale for resale means for a tangible taxable service performed on tangible personal property that is held for sale by the purchaser of the taxable service. Okay. Or five, tangible personal property or a taxable service to a purchaser who acquires the property or service for the purpose of transferring it as an integral part of performing a contract or subcontract of a contract for the sale other than the lease or rental of tangible personal property with an entity or organization exempted from taxes imposed by this chapter under 151.309 or 151 310 only if the purchaser A allocates and bills the contract the cost of the property or service as a direct or indirect cost, or B transfers title of the property to the exempt entity or organization under the contract and any applicable acquisition regulations. I'm just going to quickly look at these two sections: governmental entities, uh, religious, educational, and public service organizations. Okay. So, rereading this a little bit, doing this work, tangible. They're considering it a sale for resale. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to reread this section. I apologize, but I think it'll help make it a little more clear. Five, a sale for a sale for resale means sales of five, tangible personal property or taxable service to purchaser who acquires the property or service for the purpose of transferring it as an integral part of performing a contract or subcontract of a contract for the sale other than uh, the lease or rental of tangible personal property of with an organization exempted from taxes imposed by that. Okay, so it can't be those? A governmental entity? Because there's sale for resale. So taking one step back, you've got a exemption certificate and a resale certificate. Generally, these would be covered under the resale certificate. Uh, I think all this is really saying is if you're going to do this, we're going to cover that under the exemption certificate. Okay, only if the purchaser A allocates and bills to the contract the cost of the property or service as a direct or indirect cost. So they're actually billing it. And B transfers title to the property to the exempt entity or organization under the contract and any applicable acquisition regulations. I think I'm going to have to come back to that. I'm still not 100% certain what they're really saying there. B, subsection A3. So let's go through that. Sale means tangible personal property for the purpose of transferring it in the United States or Mexico as an integral part of a taxable service applies to a transfer of a wireless voice communication device as an integral part of a taxable service, regardless whether there is a separate charge for the wireless voice communication device or whether the purchaser is the provider of the taxable service if payment for the service is a condition for receiving the wireless voice communication cell phone wireless voice communication device. They're talking about cell phone contracts here. Okay. C, sale for resale, and we're okay. Does not include the sale of tangible personal property or a taxable service to a purchaser who acquires the property or service for the purpose of performing a service not listed as a taxable service under 151.001. So, yeah, regardless of whether title transfers to the service provider's customer, unless the tangible personal property or taxable service is purchased for the purpose of performing a contract or subcontract for a service, including a taxable service under Section 151 0101 with any branch of the Department of Defense, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Energy, uh, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, Central Intelligence Agency, National Security Agencies, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Agencies, the National Reconnaissance Office. I didn't even know the Reconnaissance Office was a national office. Okay. To the extent allocated and billed to the contract with the federal government. D. A sale for a resale includes the sale of a computer program to a provider of internet hosting who acquires the computer program from an unrelated vendor for the purpose of selling the right to use the computer program to an unrelated user of the provider's internet hosting services in the normal course of business and in the form or condition in which the provider acquired the computer program. I don't know how often this stuff still occurs. This feels like AOL CD type stuff. For purposes of this subsection, the purchase of the computer program by the provider qualifies as a sale for resale only if the provider offers the unrelated user a selection of computer programs that are available to the public for purchase directly from an unrelated vendor and executes a written contract with the unrelated person that specifies the name of the computer program sold to the unrelated person and includes a charge to the unrelated user for computer hardware. This subsection applies notwithstanding 151.302. This is sale for resale. 152B, the cell phone thing. Okay. If the unrelated user purchases the right to use the computer program from the provider through the acquisition of a license, and the provider does not retain the right to use the computer program under that license. The performance by the provider of routine maintenance of the computer program that is recommended or required by the unrelated vendor of the computer program does not affect the application of this section. This is going to make a bit more sense when we get into the computer programming section. For now, we're just going to continue. E. Oh, did not finish it. In this subsection, internet hosting has the meaning assigned in 151.101A. And we have not gotten to that yet. It means providing to an unrelated user access over the internet to computer services using property that is owned or leased or and managed by the provider and on which the user may store or process the user's own data or use software that is owned, licensed, or leased by the user or provider. The term does not include telecommunication services. I'm going to skip this for now because we're going to get to it. Look at the bar. That's like a week away. E. Sale for resale does not include the sale of tangible personal property to a purchaser who acquires the property for the purpose of using, consuming, or expending it, or incorporating into an oil or gas well in the performance of oil well service taxable under Chapter 191. So this is fairly interesting. Sale for resale. So it starts in 91 or 81, excuse me. Then it is updated again in 95. Then it's updated again in 97, 11, 15, and 19. So that's updated fairly consistently, and it's had me think of a pretty interesting research project to see what are the code sections that continue to be hotbeds. But that is all for this section. Next time we're gonna jump to the sales price rule. It looks like it. Okay. Well, that's all. Thanks. Bye.